Now, your first weather.
And we saw a mixture of sun and clouds across much of northeast Arkansas for today. Our temperatures on the warm side, upper 80s in many of our hometowns. 89 degrees Pocahontas, 88 degrees in Paragould, 87 the high here in Jonesboro, 89 degrees in Corning. Still had that dew point in the 70s, so it did feel like the low to mid 90s with that feel like and heat index value. And that will probably stay the same over the next several days, but mainly quiet weather as we get ready to end July and start the first few days of August. Here's your Wednesday forecast. In 66 to start the day. Could be a little patchy fog as you wake up tomorrow morning. We're back in the upper 80s by the afternoon with once again a mixture of sun and clouds throughout our Wednesday and into our Thursday. And we'll talk more about the rest of the work week forecast when we come. I'm sorry.
Now, your first weather.
And we saw a mixture of sun and clouds across our area today. Temperatures were warm in the upper 80s in many of our hometowns. 89 the high temperature Walnut Ridge and Corning, 88 degrees in Paragould, 87 our high temperature today here in Jonesboro. But those dew points still in the low 70s made it feel more like the low to mid 90s here late this afternoon, and really got more of the same in the forecast over the next several days. So for your Wednesday 66, may see a little patchy fog as you wake up early in the day, then look for highs in the upper 80s by the afternoon with once again a mixture of sun and clouds. And we'll talk more about the rest of the work week forecast coming up, but first your local news starts now.
Northeast Arkansas News is brought to you by Glenn Sain.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for your Northeast Arkansas Late News. I'm Josh Egbert.
And I'm Meredith Mitchell. The woman facing a capital murder charge for the death of former state Senator Linda Collins appeared in court once again today.
Northeast Arkansas's Alexis Padilla was there and has more information on her plea and new details being released.
It has been just under 2 months since the body of former state Senator Linda Collins was found outside her home in Pocahontas. Today, the suspect Rebecca O'Donnell entered a not guilty plea. She is facing charges of first-degree murder, abuse of a corpse, and tampering with physical evidence. Prosecuting attorney Henry Boyce says if convicted, they are seeking the death penalty.
There's two options for penalty or for punishment, capital murder, and you heard what choice I made.
Judge David Goodson today made an order to open up some of the files that have been sealed to this point.
The judge's order is public now. The pleadings are going to be public, so everyone will see what pleadings are filed in the case.
While investigative files are still sealed, we have a redacted version of the affidavit. According to the affidavit, Collins' body was found wrapped in a blanket under a tarp outside and was in an advanced stage of decomposition. The Arkansas State Crime Lab says the death was from multiple stab wounds. Boyce says the case was sealed early on in order to protect their investigation.
Obviously, it's a high-profile case. The attention on the case, in my opinion, required a seal in order to preserve the evidence that we did have at the time prior to the arrest being made.
A trial date has not yet been set for the state of Arkansas versus Rebecca O'Donnell case, but stay tuned with KJNB and we will continue to keep you informed as we learn more. In Pocahontas for Northeast Arkansas News, I'm Alexis Padilla.
Prosecuting attorney Henry Boyce says that both parties plan on meeting again in the fall to get a status update on when the trial should start.
Well, you can expect a new holiday tradition in Jonesboro this year. The St. Bernard's Medical Group and City of Jonesboro have unveiled their plans to bring a drive-through light display to Joe Matt Campbell Park. They're calling it Christmas at the Park. The display will go on for a little over half a mile. It will be filled with more than 35 holiday collections and 350 different pieces. There will also be photos with Santa, a red wolf scavenger hunt, and more. St. Bernard's Medical Group spokesperson Matt Garner says that they are thrilled to bring this idea to life.
You know, everything that happens about healthcare doesn't happen in the hospital. We're interested in a healthy community, and healthy community needs things to do. These are wholesome things, things that bring a smile to your face, that make you laugh, promote family time. Those things do good just like a medicine.
Christmas at the Park will open up on Friday, November 22nd and continue until January 4th. Tickets are $10 per car.
Well, it was the find of a lifetime for a Nebraska man while he was on vacation here in the natural state. A school teacher visiting Crater of Diamond State Park got lucky finding the park's largest diamond in 2019, so far that is. Josh Lanick says that he was searching for about 2 hours when he stumbled upon the smooth brandy-colored gem weighing in at just over 2 carats. The shine caught his eye, although he wasn't sure it was a diamond at first, so he and his family took the stone to the park's Diamond Discovery Center along with a bag of others just to find out for sure. Lanick says that he will hold on to the gem, at least for now, unsure whether he will ultimately sell it or keep it as a memento.
Seasonal affective disorder is not just a condition associated with winter. It turns out there are some telltale signs you could be suffering from it throughout the summer months. A few things can cause the summertime sadness, including a lack of normal routine, pressures to look good in a bathing suit, and worrying about paying for childcare or vacations. Cook says that the heat also makes people not want to go outside, which can lead to a lack of activity and can cause depression. Now, signs you could be feeling seasonal affective disorder include a lack of energy, not wanting to see people, and having issues staying asleep.
Well, we're learning new details about the murder of an Italian police officer allegedly by 2 American teenagers.
Police say that Finnegan Lee Elder and Gabriel Christian Natal Horth had been drinking, and at least one of them had taken drugs before their encounter with the officer.
Seth Doan reports from outside police headquarters in Rome.
The teenage suspects were visited by U.S. Embassy officials Monday. Finnegan Lee Elder and Gabriel Christian Natale Yorth remain locked in a Rome prison, facing charges of murder and extortion. New judicial documents, which extend their detention, provide context of the events of late last week and reveal the teenagers had been drinking alcohol and that the judge finds they have a total absence of self-control and critical capacity and demonstrated an excessive immaturity. Surveillance video shown by Italian media, though not independently confirmed, purports to show the teenagers who were trying to buy about $90 worth of cocaine, which turned out to be aspirin, then fleeing with a bag they stole after the drug deal was busted. I saw them running away, said this eyewitness. 2 plainclothes officers from the Carabinieri force were called, including Mario Churcello Rega, who Elder admits to stabbing, claiming it was self-defense because he was being strangled. Though in those documents, the judge notes there were no signs of strangulation and the multiple stabs are not legitimate defense. The teens also claim they did not realize they were fighting with police, but Judge Chiara Gallo said that was impossible as the police had shown their badges. Natale Yorth claimed during questioning he did not know about the stabbing until after they returned to their hotel room where he napped. The teens have contradictory accounts as to who hid the murder weapon in their room, a knife police say Elder brought from the U.S. One of the other things we learned today was that police said the plainclothes officers were immediately attacked by the 2 teenagers. We also learned that the officer who was slain did not have his service weapon, but police added he would not have had time to use it anyway.
Well, a bizarre chain reaction crash. Surveillance cameras outside a TV news station were rolling as a driver rear ends a car, triggering a chain reaction crash. Now, moments later, the driver climbs out of the sunroof as the vehicle continues to move. The driver then reaches for something in the car and then takes off running. It happened Friday evening in Philadelphia. The Associated Press is reporting that the driver was later returned to the scene in the back of a state police vehicle and appeared to be cited. Now, right now, there is no word on what the driver was cited for.
Well, lazy rivers are about to get less lazy. The Go Boat is revving up your old school pool float by making it motorized. Yes, motorized. Whether it's across a pool or a pond, now you can go full speed ahead in your inner tube. The company says it's perfect for fishing, going through shallow waters, and even playing bumper boats. The Go Boat comes in 3 colors, including yellow, pink, and white. Now it's currently selling online for a little over $300.
Well, plastic pollution in our global oceans is leading to a wide range of health problems in the seabird population. A new study conducted by the University of Tasmania's Institute for Marine and Antarctica Studies highlights the impact plastic has on a seabird's health. The study shows that a single piece of plastic is enough to cause seabirds to have lower blood calcium. Plastic also worsens a seabird's kidney function, causing a higher concentration of uric acid. Researchers find that despite being known for their fish diet, seabirds would feed their chicks small pieces of plastic instead. Plastic ingestion has affected the body mass, wing, head, and bill length of a seabird.
Well, President Trump's pick to be the next vice chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff faced questions from state lawmakers Tuesday about allegations he sexually assaulted a former aide.
His accuser was seated just steps away during the nomination hearing. Katherine Johnson has the latest from Capitol Hill.
The truth, nothing happened, ever.
Air Force General John Hyten forcefully denied allegations of sexual assault as his accuser sat just feet away.
I want to state to you and to the American people in the strongest possible terms that these allegations are false.
Army Colonel Catherine Splitz-Doser alleges Hyten made unwanted sexual advances toward her in 2017 when she was under his command.
You just had a four-star general get up in front of the American people and make false official statements.
An investigation by the U.S. Air Force Office of Special Investigations ultimately cleared Hyten of any wrongdoing. Republican Senator Martha McSally, who's a survivor of military sexual assault, said she has full confidence in Hyten.
Sexual assault happens in the military. It just didn't happen in this case.
Tuesday's nomination hearing had been delayed for weeks as Senate lawmakers looked into the accusations.
Republican Senator Joni Ernst questioned Hyten's judgment after Splitz-Doser, his aide, was forced out of her role over complaints she created a toxic environment.
You continued to endorse her. You only did something about it when concerns were raised about your own leadership.
Hyten was asked how he would address sex assaults in the military, which Pentagon numbers show are on the rise.
I have to make sure that that victims understand that they can come forward and they will be treated with respect and dignity.
Splitz-Doser says she is willing to discuss her allegations under oath before the Senate Armed Services Committee.
Victims advocacy groups point out that while the internal Air Force investigation did not find evidence to support Splitz-Doser's claim, it also found no evidence that she was lying.
Well, still ahead here on Northeast Arkansas News, the president of U.S. Soccer responding to claims of wage discrimination. Bailey will have details on that in sports.
And we hear from Dr. Ryan Stanton with The Doc Is In on a condition called plantar fasciitis.
And we did see a little sunshine and warm weather across the area today. Now clearing skies overnight, drop us back into the 60s by tomorrow morning. Maybe a little patchy fog as you wake up. Should see a little sunshine mixed with clouds for your Wednesday. Highs once again in the upper 80s. We'll talk more about that when we come back.
Now, Northeast Arkansas weather.
And pretty nice evening out there. Take a little drive down the interstate. This is just outside Mark Tree. Got a few clouds and again seeing some sunshine out there this afternoon as well. A lot of green out there. Those fields looking pretty good with a little bit of rain we saw yesterday. Now today was a little warmer day. Upper 80s in many of our hometowns late this afternoon. 89. The high temperature Pocahontas and Walnut Ridge. 87 degrees here in Jonesboro. 88 in Paragould and 89 degrees in Corning. Now you have to factor in a little bit of a dew point this afternoon as our dew points are in the low 70s in many areas. So that put us back in the low to mid 90s for feel-like and heat index values in most areas. Looks like we'll keep the dry weather, relatively quiet weather in the forecast the next several days, and not really seeing a lot of rain chances coming until maybe the upcoming weekend. Let's take a look at our Wednesday forecast. We'll start in the low 60s. Your hour-by-hour forecast has 66 degrees around 7 o'clock in the morning. And again, maybe see a little patchy fog as you wake up early tomorrow morning as well. Should see a mixture of sun and clouds throughout the day. And by 4 o'clock in the afternoon, that's when we should hit our high around upper 80s. We'll go for a high about 88 here in Jonesboro. But again, looking at dew points, probably staying in the upper 60s and low 70s will still produce a little bit of a heat index, a little bit of a feel-like temperature, most likely low to mid 90s is what it'll feel like across much of the area. But really not much to talk about in the weather the next several days. Really pretty calm, pretty quiet weather as we head through the last day of July, which is Wednesday, and of course the first few days of August as we end our work weeks. Just got a mixture of sun and clouds here the next several days. And really can't complain about temperatures. Yeah, they're on the warmer side, but our normal highs this time of year, yeah, still low 90s, so we're still just a few degrees below our normal highs. Now, and the dew points aren't too bad either, not really out of the character, as we see dew points actually over the weekend and last week close to 80 in some areas. Those dew points today and tomorrow will probably be in the upper 60s and low 70s. So again, that's not too bad for this time of year. So our forecast map is showing relatively nice weather in the forecast for northeast Arkansas. As we head to your Wednesday, all the rain pushing off to our south and east. But look over to our west. A little bit of red coming back onto our map, indicating some of the heat and humidity that's building once again across parts of the southern plains. We may start to get into a little bit of that as we get closer to the weekend. And then as the weekend does approach, we do have that chance of some rain moving back in as a little bit more humidity builds back into the area, especially late Sunday and into early next week. But looks like a pretty nice night tonight. 66 overnight, mainly clear skies here in Jonesboro. Again, a little patchy fog as you wake up early tomorrow morning. West winds under 5 miles per hour. Here's your 7-day forecast in upper 80s. Yeah, that's in the forecast the next several days. Look for a high around 88 on Wednesday. Now the first day of August, Thursday, 87 as your high temperature. Still not too bad this time of year. A little more sunshine on Friday. And as you get ready for the weekend, then temperature-wise, looks like we'll stay in the mid or upper 80s for much of the weekend. And again, could see a chance of some rain back in the area by the time we get to Sunday, with a scattered shower or thunderstorm possible late Sunday. Maybe another chance of some rain on Monday, and we get a little bit warmer next week. You notice that Monday and Tuesday we're back in the upper 80s and could be pushing 90 by Tuesday of our next work week. But overall, looking like pretty decent weather here for the next 7 days. All right, stay with us. More news when we come back.
Well, if you deal with foot pain and difficulty walking, you might be suffering from a condition called plantar fasciitis.
With more on the signs to look for and how to get treated, here's Dr. Ryan Stanton, and this week's The Doc is In.
I'm Dr. Ryan Stanton, and The Doc is In. Plantar fasciitis is a very common diagnosis, in fact, impacting thousands of Americans every single year. The plantar fascia is a piece of tissue in our feet that connects our heel to our toes, basically producing the arch that allows us to walk successfully. Unfortunately, in plantar fasciitis, it becomes significantly inflamed, causing pain and difficulty walking. James Sharp is one of those people that required surgery to protect his plantar fascia.
It started out as something just like what I assumed was a nagging, ordinary pain that I had foot pain. I tweaked my foot somehow just out in the backyard with the kids, but it didn't get better. And I tried ice, I tried rest, I tried all the things that you hear about, and finally wised up and went to a professional and was diagnosed and led me here today.
Minor cases can be treated with rest and anti-inflammatory medications, but in more serious cases it may require splinting, casting, or even surgery.
Really kind of failed to listen to my own body, and it eventually led to this surgery now and a recovery time of about 2 months, 2-3 months. I think the bottom line here is that even with these smaller injuries or what you think is going to be a smaller injury, to listen to your own body. I ignored it for far too long, and it progressed into something that it really could have been addressed early on.
Recovery can take weeks, if not months, and can be a chronic ongoing issue if not properly addressed. It's very important if you have symptoms to get it checked out by your doctor with appropriate referrals if necessary. You can join the conversation on our Doc is In Facebook page and at Everyday Med on Twitter. I'm Dr. Ryan Stanton, and the Doc is out.
Well, coming up next, the A-State men's basketball team has released their schedule.
And the Ezekiel Elliott saga, well, it continues. Bailey will tell us what's next in sports.
Good evening and welcome back. I'm Bailey Wilborn. Good evening and welcome back. I'm Bailey Wilborn. The A-State men's basketball team has announced their schedule for this upcoming season, highlighted by their first home tournament since 1993. The Red Wolves will play Ole Miss in non-conference play for the first time since 2010. The Red Wolves Classic will be at First National Bank Arena starting November 14th. VMI, UC Davis, and Idaho will all visit Jonesboro for the full round-robin tournament. And in Sunbelt play, A-State will open up against Louisiana towards the end of December and close out the regular season against Georgia Southern. As usual, a lot of drama surrounds the Dallas Cowboys at training camp in California this year. The most talked about has been the current holdout of running back Ezekiel Elliott. Former wide receiver Michael Irvin made a passionate plea on ESPN Monday, saying the Cowboys needed Elliott in order to succeed. That was in direct contrast with comments made by owner Jerry Jones, who said Super Bowl winning teams don't need star running backs. Either way, there's somewhat of a contingency plan in place for QB Dak Prescott and the Cowboys offense, with veteran running back Alfred Morris joining the team today at camp. Can Morris fill Zeke's giant shoes behind Dak? Head coach Jarrett gave a very diplomatic answer when asked about the move today.
We like Alfred Morris, and we didn't want him to leave the first time, so we had a chance to bring him back. We wanted to jump on that opportunity. He's in shape. He's ready to go. We do like our young backs. We like what they've done, but they're young players. They haven't played very much, so we like the competition that's going on in that room, and it's great to have Alfred back joining that.
And now the Zeke saga has taken another turn. A man is suing the Dallas Cowboys and Zeke for allegedly conspiring with police to cover up the info from a 2017 car crash. The suit stems from a crash that was 4 days before the Cowboys played the Packers in the NFC divisional round game. In the crash, Zeke slammed a GMC Yukon into a BMW driven by Ronnie Hill on his way to the Cowboys facility. Frisco, Texas PD says that the incident was a minor vehicle crash, but Hill says it was intense enough to where they had to be wedged apart. Hill is suing for $20 million in damages. The wreck cost Hill $33,000. The president of U.S. Soccer is responding to claims of wage discrimination, saying the women's national team has been paid more than the men's. Federation President Carlos Cordeiro released a letter sharing figures that the women's team was reportedly paid nearly $34 million in salary and bonuses between 2010 and 2018. U.S. Soccer says during that time, the men's team was paid only $26.4 million. Cordeiro cites different pay structures for the two teams and adds that men have the ability to earn higher bonuses than women. A spokesperson for the players involved in the lawsuit calls U.S. Soccer's figures misleading. Well, speaking of the women's national team, head coach Jill Ellis will be stepping down after her team completes its 5-game victory tour. She'll walk away after leading the team to its second straight Women's World Cup championship. Her contract was set to expire this week, and Ellis said the time is right for her to move on. The move leaves the team without a coach heading into next year's summer Tokyo Olympics, but the team is expected to hire a general manager soon before the search for a new head coach begins. Ellis has been the team's coach since 2014 and won 102 of the 127 games she coached, the most for anyone with the job.
Olympics 1 year away, you would think they would try and get her to stay at least, a 1 year contract extension and then move on, but
I think she wants out, so.
Yeah, that new person needs that time, I guess, to groom their team to get prepared.
Well, a lot of former players hopefully can step up and
we'll see
for that role. Bailey, thanks. We're back right after this.
And taking a final look at our 7-day forecast. Have a little patchy fog when you wake up early tomorrow morning as temperatures make it back into the upper 80s for your Wednesday afternoon. So really not bad as we end July and get ready for August. Temperatures will stay in the upper 80s, partly to mostly sunny skies. Really not much to talk about weather-wise the next several days. But as you get to the weekend, our temperatures do get a little bit on the middle of the 80s, so a little bit on the warmer side. It will be in the mid-80s this weekend, maybe a little more humid too. That's when that chance of rain moves back on Sunday. Some scattered showers or thunderstorms. Could see some of those on Monday as temperatures get back close to 90 early next week. But really not bad for this time of year. We've seen a lot worse, of course, this late in July and the first few days of August. We've seen temperatures top 100 degrees before, and I had those feel like temperatures and heat index values in the triple digits, but nothing like that the next couple of days. It's going to be warm, but nothing like we could be seeing for this time of year. And again, that next chance of rain not coming until Sunday or Monday. So dry weather in the forecast as we round out the work week and get ready for the weekend.
I'd say it's pretty unusual to see these lower. I mean, they're still warm, but the lower numbers in what?
Yeah.
Last week totally spoiled me.
We need more of that numbers, that's
yes,
for sure.
we do. Chris, thanks for joining us. Have a great night. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
Follow us online, like us on Facebook, and visit our website, kjnbtv.com.